Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel ABK Smart Study. Today we will discuss the next part 3 objectives of theory of machine subject of mechanical engineering. In previous lecture we studied 20 questions. So today we will again study the 20 objectives of theory of machines. So let us start with the questions. So start the question number 1 of today's lecture. If a two-mass system is dynamically equivalent to a rigid body, then the system will not satisfy the condition that the options are sum of the two masses must be equal to that of the rigid body. Option B, polar moment of inertia of the system should be equal to that of rigid body. Option C, center of gravity of the system should coincide with that of the rigid body. And option D is total moment of inertia about the axis through CG must be equal to that of the rigid body. So if two mass system is dynamically equivalent to a rigid body, then the system will not satisfy the condition is the center of gravity CG of the system should coincide with that of the rigid body. So option C is the right answer. Next question. A rigid shaft fan laid on horizontal parallel ways will not roll if a rigid shaft fan laid on horizontal parallel ways will not roll if the options are center of gravity falls parallel. Option B, center of gravity lies on the shaft axis. Option C, horizontal moments are large. And option D, vertical moments are large. So here option B, center of gravity lies on the shaft axis is the correct answer. That is, a rigid shaft when laid on horizontal parallel ways will not roll if the center of gravity lies on the shaft axis. So option B is the right answer. Next question. If the ratio of the length of connecting rod to the crank radius increases, if the ratio of the length of connecting rod to the crank radius increases, then options are primary unbalanced forces will increase. Option B, primary unbalanced forces will decrease. Option C, secondary unbalanced forces will increase. And option D, secondary unbalanced forces will decrease. So here correct answer is option C, secondary unbalanced forces will increase. So if the ratio of length of connecting rod to the crank radius increase, then secondary unbalanced forces will increase. So option C is the correct answer. Next question. If a spring mass dashpot system is subjected to excitation by a constant harmonic force, then at resonance its amplitude of vibration will be option A, infinity. Option B, inversely proportional to damping. Option C, directly proportional to damping. And option D, decreasing exponentially with time. So in simple constant harmonic force, then the resonance its amplitude of vibration will be decreasing exponentially with time. So here option D is the right answer. Next question. In a forced vibration with viscous damping, maximum amplitude occurs when forced frequency is. So here maximum amplitude occurs when forced frequency is. Options are equal to natural frequency, slightly less than natural frequency, slightly greater than natural frequency, or 0. So maximum amplitude occurs when forced frequency is slightly less than natural frequency. So here option B is the right answer. Next question. The value of the natural frequency obtained by Rayleigh's method. So value of the natural frequency obtained by Rayleigh's method. Options are A. Is always greater than the actual fundamental frequency. Is always less than the actual fundamental frequency. Is depends on the initial deflection curve. Choose and may be greater than or less than the actual fundamental frequency. And D is independent of the initial deflection curve chosen. So here the value of natural frequency obtained by Rayleigh's method is depends upon the initial deflection curve. Choose and may be greater than or less than the actual fundamental frequency. So here option C is the correct answer. Next question. In a multi-rotor system, torsional vibration, maximum number of nodes that can occur. Torsional vibration, maximum number of nodes that can occur is option A 2, option B equal to the number of rotor plus 1, option C equal to the number of rotors, option D equal to the number of rotors minus 1. So here option B is the correct answer, equal to the number of rotor plus 1, means in multi-rotor system torsional vibration maximum number of nodes is equal to the number of rotor plus 1. So option B is the right answer. Next question. A rotating shaft carries a flywheel which overhangs on the bearing as a cantilever. If the flywheel weight is reduced to half of its original weight, the whirling speed will be. So the whirling speed will be, options are double, option B increase by root 2 times, option C decrease by root 2 times, and option D be half. So original weight, the whirling speed will be decreased by root 2 times. So here option C is the right answer. Next question. Consider the gear train shown in the given figure and capable of gears and their number of teeth. So gears A, B, C, D, E, F and number of teeth are 20, 50, 25, 75, 26 and 65. So gears B, C and D are mounted on a same parallel shaft rotating together. If the speed of A is 975 rpm, then the speed of F will be. So here A, C and E are the driver gears and B, D, F are the driven gears. So we know that N1 upon N2 Na upon Nf is equal to speed of driven gears divided by speed of driver gears. So by putting the values in that equation, we get the correct answer is 52. So here 52 is the speed of the gear F by putting the values in that equation. That is speed of A divided by speed of F gear is equal to number of teeth on driven gears divided by number of teeth on drivers gears. So here answer will be 52 rpm. Next question. Consider the following statement in respect of introduction of feedback in control system. So it enhances its gain, it attenuates the unwanted noise, it helps in improving the accuracy of the system. Which of these statements are correct? So here in respect of introduction of feedback in control system, option 1 it enhances its gain is the correct, Option B, it attenuates the unwanted noise, is the wrong. Option C, it helps in improving the accuracy of the system. So option C is the right. So here 1 and 3 are the correct, and that given in option C. So option C is the right answer. Next question. In a simple gear train, if the number of idler gears is odd, then the direction of motion of driven gear wheel. So number of idle gears is odd, then the direction of motion of driven gear wheel. Options are B, same as that of the driving gear. Option B, opposite to that of the driving gear. Option C, depend upon the number of teeth on the driving gear. And option D, depend upon the total number of teeth on all gears of the train. So in a simple gear train, if the number of idle gears is odd, then the direction of motion of driven gear will be same as that of the driving gear. So direction of motion of driven gear will be same as that of driving gear. So here option A is the right answer. Next question. Match the list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answer using the codes given below. So here 6 degrees of freedom in a rigid space, 1 degree of freedom system in pure rolling of a cylinder, then 2 degree of freedom in vibrating system, and multi degree of freedom system means multi degree of, here 2 degree of freedoms in vibration absorber, 2 degree of freedom in vibration absorber, 6 degree of freedoms in a rigid body in space, 1 degree of freedom in option 4 pure rolling of a cylinder, and multi degree of freedom system in vibration beam. So here option D 3421 is the correct answer. Next question. The natural frequency of a transverse vibration of a massless beam of length L, massless beam of length L having a mass m attached at its midspan is given by EI is the flexural rigidity of the beam. So L having a mass m attached to its midspan. So natural frequency is given by option C 48 mi divided by ml cube bracket square 1/2 radian per second. So option C is the correct answer. The natural frequency of transverse vibration 48 mi divided by ml cube bracket close raised to 1/2 radians per second. So option C is the right answer. Next question. Match the list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answer using the codes given below. So here undercutting in interference in gears occur. Then addendum, we know addendum is equal to module. Then Lewis equation is used in the beam strength calculation. So option C into 1, and worm wheel for the large speed reduction. So if we require large speed reduction, we use worm wheel. So here option A 2513 is the correct answer. Next question. A point on link connecting a double slider crank chain will trace. So in double slider crank, we know the elliptical path is become. So a point on a link connecting a double slider crank chain will trace a ellipse, means elliptical path trace. So option D is the correct answer. Next question. A wheel is rolling on a straight level track with a uniform velocity v. The instantaneous velocity of a point on the field lying at the midpoint of a radius. So here options are varies between 3 into v by 2 and minus v by 2. Option B varies between v by 2 and minus v by 2. Option C varies between 3 into v by 2 and v by 2. And option D does not vary and it is equal to v. So the instantaneous velocity of a point on the wheel lying at the midpoint of a radius is varies between 3 v by 2 and minus v by 2. So here option A is the correct answer. Next question. A 4-bar chain has. So options are all turning pairs, one turning pair and the other are sliding pairs, one sliding pair and the others are turning pairs, D all sliding pairs. So we know a 4-bar chain has all turning pairs. So here option A is the correct answer. Next question. Which one of the following pairs is correctly matched? So here Beauchamp Tower, first experiment or general bearing is the correct answer. Here option B Oldham's Reynolds anti-friction bearing, so Sonderfeld number pivot and collar bearing is also wrong. Ball bearing hydrodynamic lubrication also wrong. So Beauchamp Tower first experiment on journal bearing is the correct pairs matched correctly. So option A is the correct answer. Next question. Sensitiveness of a governor is defined as. So option A is range of speed into 2 into mean speed. Option B 2 into mean speed divided by range of speed. Option C mean speed into range of speed. And option D mean speed divided by option D is range of speed divided by mean speed. So we know sensitiveness of a governor is a ratio of range of speed to the mean speed. So here option D is the correct answer. Sensitiveness of governor is ratio of range of speed to the mean speed. Next and last question of our video. Consider the following speed governors: 1 Porter governor, 2 Hartnell governor, 3 Watt governor and 4 Crowell governor. So correct sequence of development of this governor. So we know first of all is the Porter governor, then Watt governor, then Hartnell governor and lastly developed sequence is Crowell governor. So 1, 3, 2, 4 is the correct answer. So this is the 20 questions of our lecture 3. So like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.